Hi everybody, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf and welcome to the second part of What My Mum Thinks regarding all of the products that I sent over to her during lockdown. So the other day we did her dislikes and her sort of indifferent products. She wasn't really that fussed. And today we're going to do her likes and her absolute loves. So if you enjoyed that video the other day, or if you haven't seen it, I will link it up here so you can watch it a little bit later on. If you definitely enjoyed it, please stay tuned till the end of this video. I'm going to bring my mum in for the second time this week. Hi mum!
Hi!
So we're going to get straight into this. If you are new here, hi, thank you for clicking on this video and watching it. If you really enjoy it, I'd really appreciate it if you would come and join the Pampered Wolf Pack by clicking on that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Let's get on with the first like, which is the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder.
But this is yellow, as the name banana would suggest. And that's a positive for me because I've got very dark circles under my eyes and it really did work to camouflage them. So yeah, I really liked it. And I don't think it's very expensive either, which is good.
So you just used it underneath your eyes to brighten up and to set your concealer?
Yes, that's exactly what I did. I put concealer on and then put that powder on top and it really helped.
And there was no creasing, no cakiness throughout the day?
No, it was perfect for me.
And it's a really affordable product, so that's a plus.
Yep.
So that's a definite like. Let's move on to the next one, which is the Becca Light Shifter Finishing Veil.
At first, I didn't know what to make of this. I looked at it in the packet and thought, okay, we'll give this a try. But it really does what it says it's going to do. It puts a veil all over your pores and everything else, and it really sets things in place. I really liked it. I put it on with a fluffy brush, and regardless of what foundation you have underneath, it seems to just brighten it up. It's nice. I like it a lot.
So I'm not sure how long you're going to be able to buy this product for. If you saw my faves and fails video, I did do a little bit of news on Becca. They are closing the brand completely as of September 2021. So if you want to try this product, you need to go and buy it now. There are some really, really shady, selfish people that are buying all of Becca products up and selling them for really, really expensive prices on places like Amazon and eBay. And I just refuse to pay prices like that. So if you do see it on a normal website and it's the normal cost of the product and you really want to try it, I would suggest buying it immediately before it runs out. Okay, so let's move on to another like. This is the Revolution Pro Ultimate Radiant Under Eye Concealer.
This gave me really good coverage, which I wasn't expecting. I thought I'd need to put a lot more of the product on, but I didn't. But I did need to set it in place. But once I'd set it in place, it was great. No problem with it at all.
I really like this because it's so creamy. Seriously creamy. It's quite hydrating on the under eye without being glowy. I actually thought it was going to be more radiant than it actually was. You know, more, it was going to remain stickier or wetter throughout the day, and it just didn't do that for me. It was actually quite a demi-matte finish, but a beautiful consistency product.
Trouble is, you see, now that I've got my new big favourite, which we'll come on to in a minute, nothing compares with my new favourite.
I know. It is a lot more expensive though. So let's move on to the next like, which is the NYX Marshmallow Primer.
Okay, I like this. I like the smell of it as well. It took me right back to my childhood. It did the job. It smoothed out my pores. It made my foundation look better on top of it. And yeah, really like it. I like it a lot.
It's really, really lovely consistency to apply as well, isn't it? It's like it's a smooth consistency, and it doesn't feel like some primers can feel a little bit too silicone or sticky. I just felt this was like putting another moisturiser on your skin.
Yeah, it didn't, you know, some primers I find your makeup just slides straight off it, but this, it didn't. It was perfect.
Fabulous. Right, let's move on to the next like, which is one of my ultimate favourites. So why this is just in the like category, I have no idea. This is the Shantikai Future Skin Oil-Free Gel Foundation. And by the way, my mum lost this. She lost it. You did lose. I gave it to my mum, the shade that didn't suit my skin, which was vanilla, which is my mum's shade, and she lost it. So I have
We have to agree to disagree on that one.
I have recently bought her a new one.
I know, gorgeous girl.
Go ahead and tell everybody all your thoughts and opinions on this foundation, which, by the way, just disregard everything she says. It's the perfect foundation imaginable.
It is absolutely beautiful, I have to say. It's a joy to put on. It just blends in so amazingly, and your skin looks fantastic when it first goes on. But because I've got this oily T-zone, it still won't stay on my chin, which is really disappointing.
Did you try it with the primer?
Yeah, I've tried it always. I mean, I still love it, or like it a lot. But because it won't stay on my chin, it's not my favourite. I'm really sorry to say, because it's such a beautiful product.
Never mind, Mum, you have to tell the truth. And, you know, if it's not your ultimate favourite, it's just not your ultimate favourite.
I know.
Never mind. Okay, but it's still definitely firmly in the like category.
It is, and thank you for the gift.
You're welcome. I wish you liked it more.
Oh, so do I. But anyway, I still love it. I've got it on today.
Let's move on to the next product, which is the e.l.f. Mint Melt No Budge eyeshadow. So these are the eyeshadow sticks that I tried out in one of my drugstore affordable makeup try-on videos.
Okay, I really liked it. It stayed on. In fact, I've got another eyeshadow that is so similar in the same stick format, the same colour as well, and it's significantly more expensive than this particular one, and there's just no contest between them. The e.l.f. is as good as the expensive one. It stays on in place, it doesn't move, it's perfect. Yeah.
So the one that my mum's mentioning that she's saying it's practically a dupe for is the Bobbi Brown eyeshadows sticks. So if you buy the Bobbi Brown eyeshadow sticks at the moment and you're thinking these are slightly too expensive for me right now, switch across to the e.l.f. No Budge eyeshadow sticks and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Okay, so we're going to move into the love category. So these are all of the products that my mum, hands down, absolutely loves. So let's do the first one, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Hyaluronic Happikisses.
Okay, this is bittersweet in a way because the product itself is beautiful. It's so silky, it's moisturising, it's hydrating, they're beautiful colours. That's all the plus side of it. But if I'm paying that much for a lipstick, I expect decent packaging, and it's cheap. It's cheap packaging, and I'm cross about that. And you don't get as much in it, do you, either? If I'm right.
No, you don't.
So there's less product for £25.
So you love it, but you wouldn't buy it?
I won't buy it. Out of principle, I won't buy it. Because I've got a Beauty Pie one that is absolutely gorgeous for a fraction of the cost. And it's in packaging that I would expect for that price range. Whereas the Charlotte Tilbury is really expensive in its cheap packaging. Not good enough.
So, well, that's what my mum thinks about that then. It is an absolutely beautiful product. I don't think there's anything on the market that actually is the same as it at the moment, because it's like a lipstick with the same intensity of pigment as a lipstick, but it's got the feel of a balm, and it's beautiful. But I was talking to my mum about this the other day, and my mum actually said this is greediness, and she is so right. It's like Charlotte Tilbury's just being a little bit greedy and putting it in inferior packaging and thinking that nobody will notice. And we all noticed. By the way, if you haven't seen my full review on all of the shades, I will link it up here for you so you can watch it a little bit later on. Let's move on. So the next product that you absolutely love is another one of my favourites, actually. I'm so glad that you have had so much success with this. So we've mentioned a couple of concealers in the 2 videos that we've done. Some were dislikes, some were Nars, one was a like, and this one is an absolute love. So this is the Pat McGrath Labs Sublime Perfection Concealer, and you've got the shade L4.
It's amazing. I mean, I've stuck with the IT Cosmetics concealer for a long time, and I loved that, but this is my new favourite. And the reason it's taken over is because it's not sticky either. You need the tiniest, weeniest bit, and it's not sticky. Fantastic. Beautiful.
There you go. Doesn't crease throughout the day, does it?
No, it's perfect.
Just stays wherever you put it.
Yeah. Especially with the setting powder as well.
So we're going to mention that next, actually, because I feel like these two come as a pair. If you're going to buy one, it would be a really good idea to stretch and buy them both, because this powder really does seal the deal. So this next love is the Pat McGrath Labs Sublime Perfection Under Eye Blurring Powder, and it's just to die for. Even if you don't buy the Sublime Perfection Concealer, I would highly recommend you buy the powder, because this works with any concealer. So what did you think of this, Mum?
Oh, it's amazing. At first I thought, oh, it's all right. It's very nice. And then I thought, well, I better just try it with it. So I did, what I did is I put the concealer on both eyes, and then I mattified it down, set it in place with one eye Pat McGrath and the other eye something a lot cheaper that I normally use. And there is a big difference at the end of the day. A big difference. So the Pat McGrath one just stayed in place the whole day, didn't crease at all. The other one, okay, it's a cheaper powder, but it creased, and it looked a bit crepey at the end of the day. So it's worth it. It's worth every penny, actually.
Okay, so the next love on the list is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation.
Yeah, I really love this. It's better if you put it on with a sponge, because it's quite a thick formula. And when I put it on with a brush, it was a bit too much. You could see that I've got makeup on, and I prefer it to be a more natural look. It was absolutely beautiful, and it stayed on all day, even on my chin.
That surprised me, actually. That's really surprised me, because if you've got anything from this video, my mum has got combination skin and a very oily T-zone. And it's oilier on some days than it is on others, isn't it, Mum? And sometimes you do suffer with a little bit of dryness, but it's very rare, would you say?
Yeah.
So for this, with it being a radiant finished foundation, and I've done reviews on both of the foundations, whether it be the Synchro Skin regular foundation or the Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. So there are two, and my mum likes them both, but this is definitely the one that you would like to own.
I would. Yes. Hint. Only joking. Really, I am. Only joking.
I've got a feeling that when my mum can enter my household again, that foundation may grow legs.
No, it won't. I only take things that you say I can take anyway. You know I do.
Let's move on.
You little tinker.
Well, let's just talk a little bit more about the Shiseido Foundation because I think it deserves a little bit more of a mention. So it didn't crease on your skin, it didn't settle in any fine lines or wrinkles, it didn't settle in any pores. It looked very skin-like and natural on your skin, not too dewy, not too radiant, just the perfect amount of radiance.
Yeah.
And it didn't budge.
No, as long as you put it on with a sponge, or I put mine on with a sponge. With a brush, it's too much.
And you see, this wasn't my favourite foundation, which is another reason why I find this so strange, because usually we like all of the same things. Maybe we've just spent too much time apart, Mum. So I really loved this. I absolutely loved this, but it wouldn't be one that I reach for on a daily basis, whereas this you would, wouldn't you?
I would, yeah, I would.
Okay, so let's move on to the next product. This is the Revolution Gel Effect Nail Polishes. Now, before we start talking about these, I don't know if these have been discontinued somehow. They've only just been released and all of a sudden they're sold out everywhere. And it's like they've been pulled off the shelves for some reason, and I'm not sure why, because I love these. And so do you. If I can find them available anywhere, I will link them in the description box for you. So, Mum, what did you think of these?
I absolutely love them. I can't tell you how long they lasted. However, you have to use the top coat. With the top coat, I gave my nails some proper hammering. I washed up without gloves, which is very unusual. I did gardening, the whole lot. And honestly, it must have lasted about 4 to 5 days before I started to look at them and think, ooh, they probably need to come off now. But fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And the other thing is, I've got very, very ridged nails, and they hadn't disappeared, but they were very minimalised by using that nail polish. I was very impressed.
Okay, so we're going to go for the NYX Shine Loud. Just to remind everybody, we are in the love category now. So the NYX Shine Loud lipsticks, which have got a creamy lipstick on one end, and it's not really a gloss, but it's like a top coat on the other end.
Well, it was a little bit dark for me, so I'm looking for one now that's bit more my shade, but I knew that the day that I tried it I was going to be wearing a mask because I was going shopping, and I thought, right, okay, we'll try this without the top coat bit to see if it will stay on, and my goodness, it did. If you want a lipstick that's going to stay on with a mask, then I would suggest that you try this one because it's got huge staying power. It was a little bit drying though, that's the downside to it, and I've got dry lips as well, so nevertheless, it was really good. A little bit drying, but with the top bit on, it doesn't feel dry, but without, it is.
Yeah, without, I hated it. Before I'd put the actual top coat on, my lips felt sticky and dry, and it was like chewing on cotton wool. It was, absolutely horrendous. But once the top coat was on, the top coat does something to seal in everything. It's a bit like a paraffin wax sort of feeling, where it's not drying, it's actually quite nourishing, and it seals everything in. Okay, let's move on to the Nars Air Matte lip colours. So these are, I love these. These were in my faves and fails. This is in the shade Chaser. So my mum got this one dropped on her doorstep. What did you think of this one?
It's lovely. It's the perfect colour for me, that one, anyway. It's like a satin matte, isn't it? It's not really matte. It's like a satiny kind of matte. And it's just fantastic. It's not even drying. You'd expect it to be drying. It looks like it's going to feel very dry, but it doesn't. It doesn't stay on quite as long as the NYX, but it's really beautiful.
I'm glad you liked that one. I absolutely love it.
Sad I gave it you back now. You said I could keep it and I didn't know.
Okay, let's move on to the next love, which is The e.l.f. Lash It Loud Mascara. I love this.
Fabulous. Just does the job. You know, hardly any effort's required to get the look that you want. It's makes your lashes look full. Yeah, perfect. And very affordable.
Extremely affordable. So it adds volume and it also adds length. Did you find that this flaked or smudged?
No, I didn't.
This was my favourite, I think, because it gave both volume and length, and with very little effort. Like you said, it just everything. The wand coats every single lash. You just don't have to make a lot of effort. So, right, let's move on to what your ultimate favourite mascara was, though, that I dropped off on your doorstep, which is the Maybelline Sky High mascara. And this is the final love in this video.
Yeah, it just does I mean, it's a very fine margin between the e.l.f. and the Maybelline, to be fair. And maybe on one day I'll prefer the e.l.f. I don't know. It's so close, but I really like it. And it's so affordable. Why would you spend a lot of money on a mascara when you can buy one that does the job for less money? I don't understand it.
I agree with you.
Perfect.
These two mascaras are better than a lot of high-end mascaras that I've used in a long time. So I find that high-end mascaras, the higher end mascaras that you use, they tend to be very moisturising on the lashes, which means it's a wetter formula, and wetter formulas can sometimes mean a lot more smudging and a lot more flaking in really dry climates. So I just think both these mascaras give the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Absolutely right.
So we've come to the end of this little mini series of what my mum thinks videos. I have thoroughly, even though you're not bang smack next to me, it feels like you are. So I've thoroughly enjoyed it, Mum. Thank you so much. And just a huge thank you to my mum, because honestly, it's taken a lot of effort and dedication to try all these out, to write down every single last bit of note, just so that you don't forget which ones you liked and which ones you didn't, because I did bombard my mum with a lot of products. A lot of products.
It was and is an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Mum, and thank you to all of you for watching, and hope to see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.
Bye.